if you're at work like Matt Frost is here on YouTube, it's time for your bathroom break. But if you're not, I mean, no matter what you're doing, it is time for Pick and Roll here on the Board YouTube channel, where we go through some NBA betting and discussion. And we have NBA playoffs in full swing here. A lot of game twos on the cards for tonight. So we got a great episode planned for you guys. If you're excited, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for NBA playoff betting content and extra content all throughout the playoffs. If you're on podcast platform, rate and review 5 stars. All right, as we do, we are going to start off today's show with a recap, as we always do, a recap of the previous day's plays. And it was a 1-in-1 day, but still it was profitable, as the 1.5 unit play was a winner in the night game. So thankfully, there was the adjustment to make that one 1.5 unit there. Unfortunately, Jalen Brunson did not really get the legs in this one. Also, the blowout of the Knicks did not help. But fortunately, Kawhi Leonard easily smashes his point line. The Clippers, they made it close on the spread. I got to say, we were saying there's no way they get blown out here. They made it close, but we took the big line and they cover the 15.5 point spread. So it is a 0.35 unit profit day. So Pips, your thoughts on both these bets and maybe the slate overall?
Yeah, it's so difficult to bet the playoffs because both of our guys were given single coverage in first game, and both of our guys were double teamed in the second leg. So if you see Kawhi Leonard scoring 38 points in the first game, and you just say okay, I won't bet him in the second game because he scored 38 points, he will get double teamed in the second game, and then he doesn't get that double team, and he end up scoring 40 points. You feel like a fool. So you do go with Kawhi Leonard, and then you see him double team, and he still scored 30 plus points. So that's great. But Jalen Brunson just didn't have the legs for it. He ended up scoring 20 points at the end. Somehow got there with some unbelievable free throws, down 30 with 4 minutes left, which is Tips signature move. And yeah, we saw Randall almost got actually injured in the 2 minutes left, down 30, which is, yeah, as I said, Tips signature move. But I'll just say Brunson was double teamed a lot. He didn't get double teamed in the first game. He also shot very poor. The last game of Brunson was one of the worst shooting of the entire season. I'll just check for exact true shooting. Yeah, he had 46% true shooting in that game. So we were 2 buckets away from him covering. He took 17 shots. He made 5. If he made one, he was 1 from 8 from the 3-point line, which is terrible for him since he's shooting 40% on the season. And I'll just say 3 out of these threes were huge in and outs. So we kind of even with double teams, we were kind of struck by the Warriors. 5 for 17, that's just not happening many times for Brunson, no matter the coverage. And the game was we spoke about the Knicks and the Cavs matchup, and I said, okay, the Knicks have the edge on the bench, and then they get blown out this game. So I'll just say Cleveland played about 5 times better defense in this game than they did in the first one, and that's it. This was probably the best ever defensive game from Donovan Mitchell, the best ever defensive game from Darius Garland, and they found some groove with not playing Okoro at all. So they Caris LeVert had huge game, scored for 24 points. Everything was working on for him tonight. And they had 20 minutes of Danny Green, good minutes. So yeah, that's the playoffs. And the Cleveland Cavaliers continue playing this kind of defense throughout the entire series. Yeah, trouble for the Knicks. And also, Knicks went away from everything that worked on in the first game, in the second game. So
Yeah, some interesting stuff there. As much as Brunson maybe matchup was a difficulty, as HCC says here, Kawhi is matchup proof. And if you guys did catch our Western Conference preview last week, the over 5.5, I can't ask for a better start. 1-1 in this series, one game apiece. So great stuff over there. But let's come up with some actionable info for today as well and go into the official pick for today's segment. Just one bet in play here. You got to remember, guys, we're scaling down volume because it is a playoffs. There's much less games. So sometimes it's like instead of an 8-game slate, it's a 3-game slate with those sharper lines. But we do have the official play coming your way here. And it is in the Bucks game. So expecting some big games from the supporting cast here of Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday. We have on the same game parlay, Middleton over 20.5 points and Jrue Holiday over 6.5 assists for minus 110 odds at DraftKings. If you guys don't have DraftKings at BetMGM, you can also get it there. But we always say make sure you have all sports books available when you're making your wagers so that you're always getting the best price. You can do that with our special link in the description, betstamp.app/theboard. Okay, let's pull up the play here and ask Pips why you're liking this one and what do you see from these two guys today?
I'll just go back to the last game, second half. So first half we had minutes from Giannis. Giannis played the first half. Second half they started without Giannis and made a plan at the halftime for playing without Giannis. So I'll just read the script of the second half. Second half, Bucks, Chris Middleton, 7 from 13 field goal attempts in the second half, scored 19 points in the second half alone, and 19 points in 19 minutes in the second half from Chris Middleton, and all that while missing 3 free throws. So he was on the way to cover in the second half alone this line without Giannis. So he only needed one halftime, 19 minutes without Giannis to cover this line. I'll say it like that. The thing is, Jrue Holiday also second half, 11 assists alone in the second half. So like these guys covered this in the last game without Giannis in the second half alone. So now we have 2 halves of Chris Middleton and Jrue Holiday, and I expect bigger minutes from them since they played low minutes in the first half. And yeah, with Giannis out, that's 25 field goal attempts away from the team, and Middleton is probably the best one to take a lot of these shots, and he's now the first scoring option. Giannis is usually playing a lot of on-ball reps, and without him, it's all down to Jrue Holiday and Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton seems to not be taking any playmaking in the first game. He was scoring off the ball, attacking the closeouts, shooting, and it was everything to the Jrue Holiday. So he had 11 assists in the second half. So he played also 2 games in the regular season without Giannis against the Heat, had 11 and 10 assists. So it's like they'll hedge or show up against the Jrue Holiday in pick and roll. He will hit Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Bobby Portis, Brook Lopez for threes or some inside pick and roll stuff. So this should be a very easy game for Jrue Holiday to knock up the assists. And Chris Middleton, unbelievable shot making. He will attack isolation stuff, get to the mid range, get to the threes of hedge on Jrue Holiday. So this looks like a perfect matchup. So I didn't bet much, only one bet tonight, because one game we had Jokic questionable, and if he's playing or not change everything. We can just guess there. The second one is Ja Morant, also questionable, changed the game entirely, so we can bet on that game either. And this game is also difficult spot because Giannis is doubtful, and we saw with Josh Hart yesterday. He was doubtful, he was out, then doubtful, then questionable, then playing. So I'm afraid there is still like 10% chance of Giannis playing, but I think this can hit even if Giannis is playing because the way they defend Giannis. But if he's not playing, I like these looks. So bit caution going into this late and betting. If you can wait for like half an hour before the game, when the news are confirmed, you should. Not on our bet, but overall, because as I said, Jokic, Morant, and Giannis, 3 superstars, are questionable in all 3 matchups. So today is kind of difficult to lay on anything on the slate.
Yeah, and it's a question here you kind of answered. Aaron Campbell asked, "Do you like this if Giannis is in?" You said you still kind of like this with Giannis, uh, whether or not he's in. You loved it if Giannis is out. If somebody were to catch this, because we do get some viewers like right before the games, if right before the game, somehow it's same price and Giannis is in, would you still recommend betting this if there's confirmation that Giannis is in?
I would recommend betting this, but on very lower lines. We'll get like
Right, you
Middleton
wait for the
probably the
movement.
same price for 18 plus, and Euro assist will probably remain the same, but maybe even a better price. So you can bet this 18 plus Chris and
Right.
Drew 6 plus assists probably for the same price if Giannis is ruled in, and I love that spot with lower lines and
Yeah.
with Giannis in.
But then you run the risk if he's confirmed out, then you won't have this price likely
Yeah,
anymore on this one.
yeah,
What they kind of do, sportsbooks, how they battle people playing on injury news, they usually sit somewhat in the middle. Maybe if it's doubtful, different, but for like a questionable player, because they want to have lines up for the playoffs, they'll set it
yeah,
in the middle of what it would be if he was in or if he was out. So they'll adjust accordingly after that news comes out. So
yeah.
this
Great.
is something else to have you. This is a full unit play for our tracking for our records here on the Pick and Roll Show. Obviously, we don't want you guys to just have to blindly tail things. We want you guys to understand the process that goes into the bets, and also you have maybe your own process of betting things differently, so you can also make any sort of decisions on your own. But for our tracking purposes, we're going to lay this down as a 1 unit play. Somebody else is asking in relation to this game here on the Gabe Vincent lines, HDC. Gabe Vincent over 9.5 looks low without Hero because he's had success against the Bucks this season. Any thoughts on that one, Pips? Any chance to take advantage with no
Yeah,
Hero here?
yeah, I think that's good line to bet. I don't know if they go to the Oladipo in the lineup or maybe some Duncan Robinson means to swipe out on Hero being out, but yeah, Gabe can make the double digit scoring for tonight for sure.
All right, so good to know there. And P Dub's zone sort of method here. He's going to double down if you see Giannis come in and there is a lower line. So interesting ways to go about it. But let's move now into some small topics here. Not too much to discuss. If anybody has any questions, feel free, as always, to drop them in the chat and we can get to them. But any comments from yourself, Pips, on I think the most entertaining series so far is the Clippers Suns series. It was tied 59-59 at half before the Suns really took it to the Clippers, especially in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker was quite unbelievable in that game. How do you see, based on the analysis you provided last week in our Western Conference preview, has the series gone as expected through 2 games? And what do you expect to see from the next 3 to 5 games here?
So last night we had a game where everything went wrong for the Clippers. So they were out rebounded by the Clippers, by the Suns.
Suns, yeah.
They committed more turnovers, and Clippers shot better from 3 point line. That's like you can win the games like this. So you need to have
You mean
more
the Suns? Sorry, you
possessions.
mean the Suns shot better from 3?
Yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
Suns shot better from 3 point line. They had less turnovers and they had more rebounds. That's just, and they also had one of the best games of the season from mid range. KD and Booker made everything, and then you go back and look and see Torrey Craig, and Torrey Craig and Devin Booker combined for 9 from 15 from 3 point line. We had Torrey Craig making 5 out of 8 threes. That's just the game you can't win. There is no way you can win the game like that. And that's completely okay. You won the game 1 on the road, you lost the game 2 with everything going against you. Now you get to home, and I expect the series to be, after these 2 home games, to be tied at 2-2. Yeah, I am still confident this series should go to the game 7, and then whoever wins it, but I think this is going to game 7.
Yeah.
Nothing I was concerned in this game for the Clippers. Only thing that I didn't like for them is fourth quarter start playing together. Highland, Powell, Mann, Westbrook. I think that's Yeah, I'm not fan of huge Highland minutes in this series, to be honest. It's not huge. It's like 14, 15 minutes. But it's quite enough to for them to exploit it. And I don't like him on defensive side. And
He
I don't think he
loves
brings,
shooting. He
yeah, and I
loves
don't think
shooting.
he, and I don't think he brings much on the offense, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the minutes for him. Kawhi Leonard, another amazing performance, even though he was double teamed like a ton. Russell
The
Westbrook had,
defense.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Russell Westbrook had so Kawhi Leonard had amazing game. Russell Westbrook had amazing game, both scoring, both assisting, both defensive wise. So yeah, it was Nicholas Batum played 20 minutes, shot 4 threes, missed all four. Bones Highland played 15 minutes, shot 4 threes, missed all four. Norman Powell played 28 minutes, shot 3 threes, made zero. So we had Batum, Powell, and Highland shooting 11 threes and made zero. On the other side, Torrey Craig made 5 out of 8, and that's the game changer. Like,
Yeah.
these guys need to be even out to get a chance to give Kawhi Leonard a chance to win this. And this was a 6 point game with 3 minutes left, so it went like to 14 points game, but it was a relatively competitive
Okay.
game. Yeah.
I was
So
asleep. To be honest,
yeah.
I missed the second half. I was.
Yeah.
I
The first half, the Clippers did great, and then they had some stretch where they allowing too many turnovers, transition points for the Clipper for the Suns. They were up, I think, like 15 points at some point in the first half, like something like that, and then they just with couple of mistake and it's a tight game. And second half they were fired up. They closed the game. They closed the second half on 23-10 run. Suns and the injuries are just were like, yeah, that's usually what happens when you have a huge lead in the second quarter and you gave up, and then second half you had Suns firing up, KD, Devin Booker, everyone going out fired up, and yeah, that's difficult to maintain the score in that game.
yeah. Understandable. One more thing here. P Dubs Nation asking about the Draymond Green suspension. Our thoughts on that. So Draymond Green, if you guys didn't see, suspended for the next game, the game 3 against the Kings. We spoke about this yesterday. We believe he deserved to be suspended. I couldn't believe how many people thought he shouldn't be suspended for that. But one of the things that came into play on this was the fact that he was a repeat offender, according to Joe Dumars. But how do you think this stacks against Golden State for their game 3? And do you think they still win? By the way, yesterday, I hope you guys listened to my my lean on the Kings on the spread because of the Draymond possibility of a suspension. But Pips, how does this affect Golden State for game 3?
Yeah, that's a huge blow. Like I think he's if you okay, Steph Curry is the most important player, but Draymond Green is the second most important player for the Golden State Warriors. So they are down their second best player in a series where they are losing 2-0 and they lack physicality, and Draymond Green is the main guy to do it. So I don't know how they play this game. I literally don't know. The good thing is for the Golden State Warriors is that Sabonis seems to be questionable for this game, and if we get to 40 minutes of Alex Len, that's maybe tied in players missing out. So yeah, that could be a difficult spot for Golden State Warriors. Clay Thompson, Wiggins is now a bigger player for the Warriors than Clay Thompson is. More
Yeah.
important. So it's down to Curry, Wiggins, and I don't know who is the third guy. Like literally, like Clay Thompson can't stay in front of anyone on defense, but he still is great shooter. It will be interesting. I think after 2 games we see 1-3-1 for the Kings, but if Golden State Warriors can somehow win the game without Draymond Green, that will be a huge confidence boost, and this series is very very interesting. So can't predict much with so high pace, quick offense. But I loved everything from the Kings, and I think they won the last game easily while shooting 24% from three. Like I don't think they will repeat it by being the best offensive teams in history.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. And I mean, Golden State, they got problems. They're in trouble here. They are still favored to win, I think rightfully so, but without Draymond, that is going to be an absolute battle at the Chase Center. So we'll see how that all plays out. But that wraps it up from us today. Let's get you guys again the recap of today's pick. One pick in play. It's on the Bucks, Middleton over 20.5 points, and Holiday over 6.5 assists for -110 odds. DraftKings also available when we gave it out at BetMGM. So keep in mind on the Giannis situation, if you guys want us to wait and see if he's playing or not, feel free to do so. We're locking this one in right now. Pips like this one, regardless of if Giannis is playing or not. And if he's out, we get an even better price. But remember to follow us at the Board HQ on Twitter so you get all updates on the shows and all the videos we have coming out on this channel. Subscribe to keep up to date with everything as well. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Rate and review 5 stars in audio if that worked for you, if that's where you're listening right now. And also want to let you guys know, I'm going to be hosting a live watch party for the Lakers and Grizzlies game tonight on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. I'll be going live at 7:15 Eastern time to get you guys ready for that game, talk about the game, talk about some betting plays, potentially live betting and futures betting for the playoffs. So make sure you're there on the Hammer HQ YouTube channel. Hope to see you there. I'll be interacting with all the comments. Love interacting with you guys. So that's what I'm most looking forward to. So it helps if you're there asking the questions, driving the discussion. But for us at Pick and Roll, we're back again tomorrow, as we always are on weekdays, 11:20 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you again. We'll see you tomorrow.